So today we're going to talk about an alleged car accident and how my camp handled it, which I think they did pretty well. The first thing you have to know is for us going to HQ for the ammo depots on the outside especially was a reward, because when you go there in the mornings, for example, usually that meant like a half day off, because usually you just go there, collect some documents, officers talk to some people they not met in a while, and then after lunch you go back. And there's not much you can do because you don't have a computer. And back then, remember, phones did not have internet access. So if you're away from computer, you have nothing you can do. If in fact you go in the afternoon, even better, because what will happen is you go there, do whatever. As long as you have no documents to bring back, they usually will quietly say just go home from there. So we were there in the morning, me, a female staff sergeant, and a guy who was about to leave the army. And usually people who are about to leave the army are not given much work because, well, they're going to leave the army. And this guy was starting his process of taking all his leave and of putting it together so that he, at some point, maybe 1 or 2 months before, you basically are never in camp. So he was tasked with driving us back. So we finished everything, we bought the car, and then we drive off. It was a hot Singapore afternoon as usual. Aircon's on full blast. I had my seatbelt on. We're all talking. At some point, they start talking about some people I don't know because they're older than me in camp, and I fall asleep, right? So I seatbelt and I just went like this. Next thing I know, I'm jerked awake. Literally, what I felt was my body flew like this and then snapped and my head hit the window. And then I was like, oh my God. I look and I see the female staff sergeant grab the steering wheel and the driver was just panicking. He was like, oh my God. And I hear horning all about us. All the cars around us was horning. All right. And I looked my head this way and I was like this. And I see a guy just put his hand out of the car going like, what the hell? And he drives off. Like, we did this on purpose. Anyway, what happened was a very simple thing. I fell asleep. The female staff sergeant fell asleep. And then the driver started to fall asleep. And as he was driving the fast lane, his hand started to drift. The car goes this way and hits a divider. Thank heavens that the staff sergeant managed to grab the wheel and gain control of the car. If not, can you imagine if you did this more, if you flipped? Oh my God, even if we all survived, it would be very bad for the driver. Anyway, he's panicking like crazy. He's like, he's gonna go DB, which is detention barracks. He's gonna need the end for him and stuff like that. And the staff sergeant is constantly telling him, don't worry, at least the car is moving. You just calm down. We get back to camp, we'll settle this, okay? Don't worry, we try to help you. You know, and he's like almost crying. He's like, I'm doomed. Anyway, we get back in camp. The staff sergeant opens the door, gets into the office immediately, starts talking to some people. And word must have got out in that office because when the 2 officers come out, almost everybody also piles out. Now I get out of the car at this point and I see the damage. The left side of the car, perfectly fine. Doesn't look like any different. But when you go to the right, thank God denting, not the worst, but literally think about it like Godzilla picked up this car and with its nail did this. There was white scratches all over the right side and the army symbol, everything was scratched off. Now that is a problem because if it was a few small dents and all, they could send it in and then quietly, you know, help each other just fill out the dents and all. But this is major work. So if they bring it to any official garage, they're gonna have to report it. But they start asking around and one guy comes over, he looks at the damage and he goes, okay, my family owns a garage. We can fix this, but the car needs to disappear for a few weeks. And it's gonna cost a few $1,000s. They talk to the guy who is the driver and he's more than happy to pay. All right? And so after that, yeah, it was settled. But to me, the life lesson you can get from this is the reason why you don't be a dick in camp. Because trust me, it's because this guy was not the most well-liked guy in the camp, but the fact that he did his job and all, no one wants to see him suffer, right? Like he's about to leave the army, why make a son of Singapore suffer? So they helped him out. But if he was hated, of course they would just follow protocol and he probably would have suffered all the indignities of punishment, even though he was about to leave the army. So that's it. Next time, we'll talk about how I tried to broke the Obert-Nubert, or rather the hazing system in camp, and then I found out, well, there's a reason why it's there. So, you want to hear about that? Come back next time. Till next word.